Hi, Jade. So I'm gonna answer the same way as the last time, right? With a short YouTube video. So the first problem that you asked to me was this one, right? In the fact that we are given a formula that calculates an amount at a future time if you make a single deposit of P, which is called a principal, and that the bank is offering this interest rate compounded n times per year, and t is being the number of years. And now you're asked word questions. So a guy named Warren deposited 12,000 pesos in a local bank in 2019. And okay, so they are asking you two questions. Let's go ahead and answer the first one. The bank offers 5% interest rate compounded annually. How much in the account in 2028? Okay, so honestly, when you use this formula, the only thing you need to do is to fish for the information. Okay. In other words, you want to know in your problem what's P, what's R, what's N, and what is asked, of course. So how are you going to do that? Well, 12,000 pesos, okay, is your principal. Okay, so that's this thing. Then let's have a look. The bank is offering 5% interest rate. Now be careful about that, okay? By the way, just to let you know, we are right now answering letter A. Okay, so this will be the space to answer. I'm actually going to color code this in blue. This is the space in which I'm going to answer letter A. Okay, and okay, so we have that P is equal to 12,000. Okay. And be very careful. Okay, so this is the 5% interest rate, but it means that the rate is 0.05. Why is that? It's because whenever you read 5%, you have to think about 5 over 100, right? So be careful about that. Don't mess up. Don't put 5 here. It's really 0.05 that you need to put. Okay, so this is your R that's right here. Okay, so check. Compounded annually. What does it mean? So, compounded annually means that n is equal to 1. Okay? So, the number of compounds per year, compounds per year, is equal to 1. And this is the information that's on n. Okay? So, n is equal to 1. Last piece of information. How much in the account would it be in 2028? Okay, now you have to also use the fact that it deposits the principal in 2019. So in other words, the time will be one minus the other, right? So 2028 minus 2019. And then, of course, like my mental math is a little bit rusty, but it should give you 9 years. So with that in mind, the only thing you have left to do is to calculate A. Okay, so in this case, you're lucky because A is what you need to calculate. But sometimes you will have to solve for a variable in your equation. So, okay, in this case, well, all right, we're going to have like 12,000. We're going to have like multiplied by 1 plus R. So R is 0.05. Okay. And then divided by 1, which you don't really need to write, but at the same time, it's nice for your own understanding to write that. Then to the power of 1, and the t is the information that we calculated here, right? Times 9. Now, I would be expecting you to need a calculator in order to calculate that. So one trick I have for you, by the way, whenever you use the calculator, is to calculate this first. So all the bracket that's over here and the exponent, calculate that first. and be strategic whenever you do it, because it's much easier if you do, at the very least, the algebra partly in your head. Okay, so 1 times 9 is 9. You don't need a calculator for that. And same thing, you don't need a calculator for this. 1 plus 0, 0.05 is going to give you 1.05. Okay, so you shouldn't use any calculator here. Notice how I did it, right? You should not use any calculator. Where you do need the calculator is in the next couple of steps. So now you can do it directly. You can just go ahead, take your favorite calculator, and press like 12,000 multiplied by, and be careful of the priority of operations. Okay, and then you need to figure out where the exponent button is on your calculator. But once you do, you put that like to the power of 9. And the answer I got, so I'm going to give you like the answer I got out of the calculator. See if your answer match. It's going to be this point. And I'm going to round that up to the cents. Oh, it's pesos, of course. My mistake. So this is problem 1. Okay, now let's erase this. And except for this, by the way, let's actually keep this answer, because as I can see, we need it for B. So let's now erase all of this. And then to answer B, okay, now here's the thing. You need to kind of rewrite the formula. And one thing I would do, I think, is let's rewrite the entire formula again. So A is P times 1 plus R over N times NT. Okay? And let's erase this one so that we're not getting confused. Okay? So let's just rewrite this, because now the values of P are, some of the values will change. That's what I mean, right? Okay. Suppose he withdraw the principal in 228, okay, and leave the interest. Okay, so what does it mean, this thing? Withdraws the principal and leave the interest. So what it means is that the new principal that is here is going to be the old, well, actually, it's going to be the answer that we have over here. So 18,615.94 minus the old principal, which is like 12,000. So in other words, you're going to get 6,615.94 pesos. Okay. Now the interest rate stays the same. So you know right ahead that you have 0.05. Then the N also stays the same, right? So this stays the same. This stays the same. So N is equal to 1. And okay, so how much will the interest earn after 5 years? Okay, so they give you what T is. T is equal to 5. Okay. Now be careful of the question, because you have to read like how much will the interest earn. So let's call a new variable I to be the interest. Okay, so I will be the interest. And what is it? Well, it's quite simple. It's like the overall amount minus the principal, right? So the amount that is in the account after 5 years minus what it was when you started it, right? So so we need to keep that in mind. So what we need to do first is to find A. So we calculate what A is, and now we just plug everything inside the formula. So 6,615.94. And then again, same idea. So you have like 1 plus 0.05. 0.05 divided by 1. Okay. To the power of 1 times 5. Okay, so obviously now you're using the new numbers. And then again, as an advice, so don't calculate this yet. Okay, so it's not the time. So 6615.94. And then calculate this all in your head. Don't use a calculator for this. Just put this and this. And then you can calculate this. Okay, so this will give you a number. Let's actually, I'll use my calculator, but you should really use yours, right? So 1.05 to the power of 5, you could start by that, and then multiply the result by 6615.94. Okay, so inside my calculator, I got this. So I got like 8443.80. Okay, which means that the interest, the variable I that we're talking about, okay, is going to be this amount. So this thing minus the original principal that's here, right? So 6615.94. And then you do the subtraction again. So doing the subtraction, so minus 6615.94, you finally get the answer that you're earning 1,827 pesos. 0.86. It's not that precise, but yeah, it is actually precise. You have to be careful. There you are. I hope this helps. In the next video, I will not answer all of the problems that you sent to me. I will just answer a strategic couple ones to help you overall. But some of the problems I will ask you to rely on what I show you to do them on your own. Okay, so next part will be the other problem that you sent me. See you there.